Yeah, up the ladder of the riches and diamond chains. Mob niggas run this rap game. Yes, money is my bitch, that's how I think.
Hey yo, check this out, man. It's the infamous Mobb Deep, Don P right here, the NYC. You know what I mean? Shout out to my homeboy CoCo V, you know what I mean? 411 kid right here is going down, you know what I mean? Check out the interviews. It's poppin'.
My own nigga tried to murder me. The doctor told me I was in a coma for weeks. I woke up to see a detective called on the phone. I call this whole bitch like come pick me up, yo. Brought me a change of clothes, my gun and all.
In the beginning pages of the book, you said that you felt you deserved to be in prison.
Yeah.
That you know you were supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, cause I was just living real reckless right before I went to jail. Like, I was abusing a lot of my power that I had as far as, you know, the music industry and just, you know, making the fast money with the shows that we do all the time. And, you know, a lot of things I was running around with my friends in the street, associates in the street, and just doing a lot of wrong shit. So, you know, it was just bound for me to get locked up and have to sit down for a little while. That was just bound to happen, and it was a good thing for me too, cause it could have been worse. You know what I mean? It could have been worse. Somebody could have got killed. I could have got killed. You know, just a lot of bad shit could have happened the way I was living before I went to jail.
And when you went to jail, what were your thoughts when you were sitting in that cell? When you were, you know, with people like, yo, Prodigy Mobb Deep, like, how did that make you feel?
I mean, it made me feel good to see that everybody was supportive, you know what I mean? They was just like, yo, we love Mobb Deep, you know what I mean? The COs, the inmates, you know, it was nothing but love. It was like...
No problems in there at all?
Nah, not even a little bit of problem. It was nothing, you know what I mean? It was just all love. And people really love and respect Mobb Deep. That's what I got out of my experience in there, just to see that everybody was just like, yo, love y'all niggas, man. Y'all niggas keep doing what y'all doing. You get out there, get back to it, you know, so... That was just good to see that, and it was definitely inspirational to see that we, you know, touch so many people. Like, you know, we go on tour and we've been around the world and we see you know, a lot of the fans and shit. We be performing everywhere and we see how we touch people in the crowd and shit like that. But you know, it just never ceases to amaze me when I see it everywhere from every angle. You know what I mean? Now I'm locked up in prison and it's the same thing. Niggas in the box, niggas in the yard, everywhere. The COs, you know what I'm saying? Even the white COs that everybody usually say is racist and is on some foul shit. They was showing love, like, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm sure that people have some bad prison experiences. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people that have had bad prison experiences, especially with COs and racist COs and shit like that. But unfortunately, I didn't experience none of that.
You were born into the music industry. Your mom was a singer, your dad was in bands, your grandmother had a studio. Just, you know, elaborate for people and just let them know that you didn't just start rapping out of nowhere, getting on the corners. Now, my family was here, you know, tell them about the studio. You used to run around the studio doing your thing. Yeah,
my grandmother, she was the first black woman to own a building in Jamaica, Queens, right there on Merrick Boulevard. And, you know, she had a dance business that she started in the basement of her home, you know, on God Brewer Boulevard, and then she ended up becoming so successful when she bought a building. And, you know, so I grew up being in that and seeing all that, just running around as a little kid, you know what I mean? And
not realizing
being a part of all that, and it was show business.
Did you realize what was going on?
Nah, not at first, but then, you know, as I grew up, I see like, wow, this is crazy, because she used to do concerts at Lincoln Center every year in Carnegie Hall for like her dance recitals. So you know, I'm a little kid running around just having fun. And you know, she had me in the dance classes when I got a little older and all that. So it was just a good experience to be a part of that show business, you know what I mean? It was good, like stage experience, and to see the behind the scenes of how a real professional concert was put together.
Did she have like a big impact on you, Grandma?
Yeah, definitely, as far as like finances and like I said, how to run a business.
She had her money right?
Yeah, my grandmother had paper, you know what I mean? So, but she started from nothing, you know what I mean? And made something, you know what I mean? So
it's inspirational.
Yeah. And you know, my mother, she was in a doo-wop group called the Crystals. so they had a bunch of hits and whatnot, and they was on the world tour with like Dan Ross and everybody. So she used to tell me stories about like their touring and all the foul shit in the music industry and different things like that I learned, you know, as a little kid. She just always used to tell me things as far back as I can remember, you know what I mean? So, you know, when I got old enough and I started getting into the music industry and I became interested in the rap thing, you know, all that stuff stuck with me, you know what I mean, as far as
very valuable.
How to run a business and how to, you know, what to watch out for in the music industry and just certain different things, yeah.
For people that don't know, you know, Prodigy has sickle cell, and I just want you to elaborate just a little bit on what sickle cell is and how it shaped your mentality. Because you said that, you know, you can always keep a stiff face because you're always so angry and hurt and painful. Just explain to people, you know, a little bit what sickle cell is, you know, how it affected your life, how your father affected your life also.
Sickle cell is a hereditary blood disorder that it affects like mostly black people and Latinos. You know, it causes like tremendous pain and it's like it's kind of, you know, confusing in a way. You gotta learn a lot about it, but it got to do with your blood cells, and they change shape and they start clotting and it causes pain wherever it clots, and you gotta drink a lot of water and hydrate yourself in order for it to go away, you know what I mean, and take pain medicine, and yeah, it gets real intricate and crazy, but that's what it is, you know what I mean, and I was born with that. So it's something I had to live with ever since, you know, I came out of my mom's. So you know, that's all I knew was that pain. I didn't even understand it when I was a little youngster, but then as I grew up, I started to realize, okay, I got this shit, you know what I'm saying, the fuck, and it just made me mad, you know what I mean, at first. I mean, I was just mad at the world for no reason, like, you know what I mean? Have an attitude all the time and be moody and shit like that.
I mean, I think that's natural. If you're in pain at all times, I think that's pretty natural.
So I just had to learn, you know what I mean, that you know, I just can't be mad at the world, you know what I mean? Because
the world.
I gotta, you know, learn how to live with that and learn how to do what I have to do in order to, you know, keep myself healthy, you know what I mean? But it didn't take me till later on in life to figure that out, you know what I mean?
There was a point in your life where you felt like you wanted to commit suicide because of the sickle cell, and your mother walked in the room with you, and you know, what was going through your head?
Now, I ain't want to deal with that pain no more, you know what I mean? So I thought I wanted to kill myself, you know what I mean? So, and then when I started...
The quote was, suicide was too damn painful, exclamation point.
Yeah, because, you know, once I started going through the process of trying to cut my wrist or something, I'm like, damn, this shit hurts. I'm not cutting my wrist, this shit hurts. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I can't do this shit, I don't want to die. Fuck it, you know what I mean? I'm just deal with this shit. You know what I mean? So I was like 12 years old when I did that shit, you know what I mean? But
very young, very young.
So I just had to learn how to just deal with the shit, you know what I mean? But I definitely got to the point around that age where I was like, man, I'm fucking tired of this shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of going through this pain, this shit's crazy, you know what I mean? Because the pain is like real excruciating, and it's like, that shit is fucking, it's so painful. That shit is like a mental thing. That shit is start dealing with your mental. That's how painful that shit is, you know what I mean?
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Couldn't. There was a point in the book where I feel you became more of a businessman and Hav was still in that party mode, and it kind of ripped Mobb Deep a little gash in between, and you guys were bickering a lot, and Hav wasn't trying to come to the studio, and you were trying to work, and he was trying to party, be with girls. You know, how did that affect Mobb Deep? Because you guys are obviously still together, but back then you guys went through a lot of shit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you dealing with a partnership, you know, and the partnership started when you're young, when you're real young, you know, it gets to a certain point in life where, you know, you're eventually gonna, you know, mature and grow up and grow out of certain things that you used to do as a kid, you know what I mean? So I would say that, you know, the sickle cell, me having sickle cell, pushed me a little faster and harder to get my shit together, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, you know, Hav still had to go through his little things to get his shit together, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it don't happen at the same time, you know what I mean? It's people gotta see that light on their own, you know what I mean? So the sickle cell definitely helped me out, you know what I mean? And gave me that push, you know, like, all right, get it together, man, or, you know, you can't keep living like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a serious disease. Like, you can't be running around smoking weed, doing those crazy shit like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that shit helped me out a lot. And you know, Have had to learn in his own way, and whatever's gonna push him to get his shit together. So, you know, that's what happened. You know what I mean?
You handled the situation very mature.
Yeah.
There was a lot of deals that you guys have rushed into or you didn't want to, like with Jive, Def Jam, a few. There's actually a picture in the book where you're sitting there and you're like, Nav, like, you know, and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm not even ready to get into this deal. And you're like, fuck, I don't want to deal with these business people.
Right.
And then you ended up getting shut down anyways.
Right.
From that company, and you're just like, damn, like, but I guess that's the growing pains of having a partnership. There was one incident where you guys were trying to get signed to Def Jam. Gunshots rang off, Mobb Deep was on the radio, career went skyrocketing, Russell Simmons. Tell us about that story.
Yeah, there was a time where we were trying to get signed to Def Jam right when me and Javi met, and we first started doing music together. And we had a meeting with Russell Simmons, and actually Leo took the meeting because Russell was busy that day. So you know, I had my gun on me that I always have on me in school or whatever, because we had cut out of school to have this meeting. So I had my gun on me, and I told one of my associates at Def Jam that we knew on the inside to hold it in his desk, you know what I mean, while we had the meeting. The meeting was first supposed to be at Russell's house. I didn't want to bring the gun in his house, you know what I mean?
You said that.
So
You're like, you don't want to disrespect him. And all
yeah,
that.
I didn't want to bring no energy like that into his crib, so I left that shit in the office in the drawer.
Okay.
So once Russell canceled, when we came back to the office to meet with Leo, you know, we met with him, and he told us that our music was too wild, and we cursed too much, and it was too violent, and we were too young to have music like that. So we were like 15 at the time, 16.
Fucking reckless.
And he was like, nah, you know, I don't see there's nothing that we can do with y'all. You know what I mean? We're not interested in signing nothing like this. There was nothing like us at that time, you know what I mean? So we was like, all right, fuck it. So we were leaving. I went downstairs to get the hammer, and the dude that we knew actually passed it to Havoc. And Havoc was playing around with the shit, and shit popped off and hit the dude that worked at Def Jam, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was an accident though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
So, yeah, that shit got kind of crazy. And
The press picked up on it. Everybody was trying to be on the Mobb Deep wave, wilding. And you said that you guys, I don't know if you were joking around or you were serious, you said that Mobb Deep was setting trends now.
Yeah, I know.
Like being real, like was that sarcasm?
Yeah, I was being a little sarcastic,
Okay.
joke, you know what I mean? Because after that, you know, they didn't have security. Like, you could just walk in Def Jam, like, you know what I mean? Just walk in the office.
After that, they was
Yeah, after that, you couldn't even walk in no more. They had security at the front door, and you gotta let it be known. Who are you? Do you have an appointment? You know what I'm saying? You know, we've been through a handful of managers in our career, and you just gotta find somebody that's focused on the business, somebody that doesn't want to be the celebrity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody that wants to be the background and just handle all the things that we can sometimes forget in spotlight, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we so busy running around and doing music, and just, you know, sometimes it gets to a point sometimes where you start feeling yourself even, you know what I mean? You gotta have somebody, even if you feeling yourself, you gotta have somebody that keep you in check and keep everything in its proper perspective, the business and everything, you know what I mean, and never lose focus. You want somebody that's able to articulate themselves properly in the office, you know what I mean, in the corporate world, so they can go get those deals, and, you know, outside of music and within the music industry. So you just gotta have, you know, I would say just find some intelligent person to play that position, you know what I mean, because you want somebody that's gonna go in there and demand respect, you know what I mean, and be polite at the same time though, you know what I mean?
Nas. You guys went through so much shit back in the day. Where do you stand with him now?
Nas my boy, man. Love Nas to death. Well, it gets no iller than Nas. Yeah. I look up to him in a lot of ways, man. You know, he definitely inspired me to be better at what I do. You know, and to be the best. You know, push for that best level. So I always look up to him, man, no matter what. You know what I mean? Even when we was going through our bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
little battles.
Yeah, I still look up to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the man right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, we good right now, you know what I mean? Yeah, we went through a little bullshit. That shit was really about nothing. You know what I mean? The only thing that's about something is this music and this money that we making, so.
I hear that.
That's it, man, and just keeping that, you know, keeping it cool with each other and making sure that we gotta, you know, keep this shit going for, you know, future generations, man. Let them know how it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to sound.
Supposed to be. Keyword.
How it's supposed to sound, you know what I mean? Show these clowns how to rap, man.
Hear that? Can we expect anything from Nas and Mobb Deep anytime soon?
Yeah, we working on some music together, you know what I mean? So we hear more features and stuff like that.
Nice.
There was a rumor going around that we working on an album together, but
yeah.
maybe one day, you know what I mean?
I hear that.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It would be a nice collab, though.
Yeah,
Like a lot of people cop that.
I would cop that. I'd go buy 10 of those. Yeah, 50. That's like my brother, man. Also, man, cause you know, when we did the deal with him, it was like his reasons for doing the deal. You know, it kind of surprised me. You know what I mean? Cause it showed me how much of a real individual that he is. You know what I mean? Because number one, we all from Queens. You know what I mean? Number two, he was like, yo, you know, I'm a big Mobb Deep fan. Like, y'all inspired me to do what I do. You know what I mean? Y'all were one of the inspirations, one of the major inspirations. So, when he said all that to me, he was just explaining it to me. I'm like, well, all right, cool. You know what I mean? And we did the deal with him. And, you know, it wasn't like he was just making that shit up. Like, he was being real. And we would have a lot of deep conversations, you know what I mean, behind the scenes, and, you know, on tour, and, you know, just chilling at the crib. And I just seen the type of person he was. So, you know, he's a real individual, and I got a lot of respect for him and love for him.
He definitely, I will say personally, he definitely helped Mobb Deep out a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah. He definitely,
you guys were living it up
for
a little while.
He definitely did his thing with the Mobb Deep situation, you know what I mean? When we did
Yes,
that
he
deal
did.
with him, yeah.
Just tell the world that 50's a businessman. Because people see the asshole side that he portrays to the media.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's a genius. I don't care what anybody says. He's a genius.
You can't see a genius, then something's wrong with your eyesight. You know what I'm saying? Because he's out there
getting money,
a lot of money,
on.
a lot of businesses, a lot of things that he's doing. You know what I mean? Outside of music. So, you know, it is what it is, man. He grew up a certain way. And he just took that knowledge and that energy, like I said before, and put it into a positive direction, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now he, you know, he that mentality in the business world, you know what I mean?
And he's pushing his way through.
Yeah.
He is. Shout out to 50.
Yeah.
Long story short, what's your relationship with Jay now?
I mean,
there
really is no relationship, but, you know, when we see each other, we keep it
cordial?
Cool. Yeah, we keep it cool with each other, show each other respect, and that's it, you know what I mean?
Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah. It would be cool to do a Mobb Deep Jay collab, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be fire.
I don't know how he feel about that, you know what I mean? But,
What's good, Jay?
we would definitely like to do that, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's on him, though, you know what I mean? But, yeah, it is what it is, you know what I mean? We went through that little thing.
It wasn't even
serious.
nothing.
You know, at first, you know what I mean? My mentality back then and right now is completely different, trust me, man. Because before I'll take a little thing and just blow that shit up into something that's not even really, don't deserve to be that big, you know what I mean? And now I'm like, man, whatever, man. I don't even care about that shit. That shit is petty to me, you know what I mean?
How do you feel about hip hop right now?
I mean, you know, I love it, man. I like what the young dudes is doing. You know, I can't even complain at all.
Huh, there's kind of a little bit of resistance in your voice right now.
Hell no, there's not one bit of resistance in me.
So are you feeling hip hop right now?
Yeah, man, I love it, man. You know what I mean? I love the songs. You know what I mean? Not everything, of course, but you know what I mean? Most of it, yeah, it's hot. You know what I mean? It's fire.
Have you accepted the change?
Yeah, I mean, to me, you know, we've been through a few eras, you know what I mean, in hip-hop.
Yeah, you guys were one era.
Yeah.
You, Jay, Big, Nas, Tupac, like, you guys were an era of hip-hop,
yeah,
literally.
So we survived a few eras, you know what I mean, so I know how it works, you know what I mean, so it's like, it's nothing really to I don't really see much of a difference. Like, you know what I mean? When people say things are different now, I don't really see it. You know what I mean? I just see the same thing really happening over again, and just maybe just slight changes, you know what I mean? And the sound a little bit. Because of technologies, things sound a little more digital now, and the sounds people use, you know what I mean? Back in the day, it was more sampling records with mad static all over the records, you know what I mean, scratchy records and shit like that. And now the sound is more clean because it's more, you know, there's a lot more just using the digital equipment instead of sampling from records and shit. They sample CDs or they just playing it themselves, you know what I mean, so it sounds real clean and crisp and clear. So that's the only real difference that I see is the technology and the sound quality and, you know, the different sounds that people are choosing to use because of what's available now. With all these different like plugins and keyboards and things like that.
There's a lot of equipment in here right now. We're in the infamous studio right now, and there's so much equipment in here.
Yeah, so that's the only real difference I see. You know what I mean? Other than that, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, it ain't hardcore no more. You need to go back to that real shit." You know, that's cool and everything, but you always got to remember that it wasn't always just hardcore. Like you know what I mean? You always had your different styles, you know what I mean? Like the perfect example I like to say is like the Sugar Hill Gang, like their music was just fun. Like they wasn't rapping about nothing really, you know what I mean?
Just talking.
Yeah, they was just, you know, just if you listen to that song, you know, they wasn't really just having fun and just saying whatever it was. So I see a lot of the artists today, like you got, you know, Soulja Boy or like a Waka Flocka, a lot of people like to complain about those type of artists and say, oh, they don't really be rapping, they ain't really saying nothing, but it's just having fun.
Like, do you like Soulja Boy?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Soulja Boy.
What other artists are you feeling?
Oh, man, there's so many of them. I can't even remember a lot of their names, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter to them, like Waka Flocka, Soulja Boy, Roscoe Dash, there's a bunch of them, there's a whole lot of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
and they're getting the money.
Yeah.
They're getting the money, people.
And they're talented too, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They know how to do what it take with their lyrics and pick the right beats to make it hit the clubs and make the people repeat their songs. They're playing all over the radio. They on tour, you know what I mean? So they doing something correct. You know what I'm saying? And capturing the people's attention. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Where do you see hip hop in the next, I guess you can say, era? What do you see it doing in the new era?
I just see like you know, it just growing. Like it's just gonna continue to metamorphosize and grow. You know what I mean? Like with the new technologies, there's new things you could do. You know, people will pay attention more, I think, to doing businesses outside of hip hop. You know what I mean? Because you know, with the internet and the downloads and all that, it put a little damper on the sales a little bit. So that pushes your creativity to say, all right, cool. If the sales is going to be like this, then what else can we do to make our brand, you know what I mean, our name out there and powerful, you know what I mean? So it pushes your creativity and your thought process to think, all right, what else can we do? Can we get into other businesses? Can we do this? Can we do that? To promote the music and market the music. And that's what I think is going to happen, you know what I mean? It's going to push people to think of new ways to promote hip-hop, you know what I mean? And to promote the music and make money, you know what I mean? Because we like, all right, the money's slowing down over here, all right, well, let's use this over here to get to this money over here, you know what I'm saying? All right.
What's Mobb Deep doing to keep the money flowing? What are you guys going to be doing differently?
I mean, we just do whatever makes sense. Like we ain't trying to really do nothing that's not our character or our style. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? We'll stick to something that makes sense for us to do. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like put a little book out or something about our life that makes sense. You know what I mean? Or like we got a little skateboard company we started called Bloodsport.
Okay.
You know what I mean? For the whole skateboard world, because they real rebellious. And we're, you know, that whole grungy style with the skateboarders, you know, that's like Mobb Deep style, you know what I mean? We rebellious, and that's what it is. So it makes sense for us to do certain things like that.
You're getting your businessman on.
Man, just little things like that, whatever makes sense. We ain't gonna go out there and, and create a
Do nothing crazy.
something crazy. Yeah, I'm like, why are they doing that? They don't even fit who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you stick it to your guns, yet you're growing with hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds good to me, guys.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on to the 411.
All right, thank
Appreciate it. It's your girl CoCo Vixen, host of the 411.
Doing this
Soon
long
in.
before you, and I'll be still doing this long after you. Let's not forget, the mob don't play that shit. We take this more serious than just music. I've been doing this long before you, and I'll be still doing this long after you. Let's not forget, the mob don't play that shit. We take this more serious than just music. Told y'all. I'm not the best, I'm the best of all time. Coming out of New York, big pole in your mouth, nigga, fuck your talk. Big Dom Perignon P holds the